Hi, this is Tom from Mad About Photography, and today I'm going to show you how to take a HDR photo, actually how to create the HDR photo and then take this, which is the HDR photo raw from Photoshop, and how to turn it into this. So stay tuned. I hope you'll find this very useful. Okay, we are going to start by selecting the photos that we want to use to create an HDR image, high dynamic range image. So I'm going to select them here. We're going to use 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 photos. Perfect. And right click on those and go down to Edit In and drop down to Merge to HDR Pro in Photoshop. These images were taken on a tripod. They're all one f-stop apart, and they give us a nice good range to work with for Photoshop. Here you see it's loading up the images. It's aligned layers. Okay, a couple things to make sure you select in Lightroom. You want to make sure that you set the mode over here to 32-bit to have enough depth to work with in editing. And you want to make sure that complete toning in Adobe Camera Raw is turned off as well. Click OK. It's going to create a TIFF that basically combines the elements of all 7 photos. And then basically go to File and Save. Now we're going to leave Adobe Photoshop and go back to Lightroom. And you'll see down here there's a new image that was created, number 143. I have a number of images in this folder, but the last image in the folder will be the new TIFF file. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and develop that. So select number 143, click on Develop. And at this point you can basically edit it as you would a normal photo. And I like to start with clarity, bumping that up. You can see how the details change. If you go too far it looks a little garish, but pull back to maybe 55%. And then the next slider I like to use is Vibrance and pop that up. And sometimes, especially in HDR, I like to pop up the saturation just a bit, and that just warms everything up. Also, I'm going to pull back on the highlight slider here. Just going to bring a little more detail into the sky. Same thing with the whites. It just gives our sky a little more pop. And then because we do have rock with a lot of detail, I like to sharpen that up. That's looking pretty good. Lens corrections, it never hurts. It loses the lens detail because it's a merged file, but it is a Nikon wide angle lens. And I like to finish off with a little bit of a vignette. I'm just going to exaggerate it a bit here to show you what I mean. It just helps add a bit of pop to the center of the photo. And then you'll notice I have a little bit of dirt on my sensor, which I can correct by going up to the cloning brush And then I adjust the size of the brush to encapsulate the dirt. Click on it. It selects a similar area of sky to paste over. Hit close and voila, that's gone. And I notice there's another one right here, so we'll go back. Shrink the brush down a bit for this one. And close. And now those dirty areas are gone. And I think that's looking pretty good. I might play with the exposure just a tad. Not too much. Yeah, bring that back there too. Just slightly brighter, 0.2 of an f-stop. Just going to tweak with the saturation here, see if I like any of the effects. That one is not doing much. Ooh. No, I don't like that one. Okay, I'm just going to show you a before and after. So that is the HDR image straight out of the processor from Adobe Photoshop. This is the after effect by just playing with a few sliders and warming things up a bit, adding some saturation, some clarity, and you can see the difference between the two photos is, well, night and day. We have a much more impact in the sky over here. The rocks have a lot more detail, color, and pop, and even on the ice, you can see the sharpening, how it brought out all the texture and the little ice crystals. So it really is, and even in the rocks, the big difference. So it is worth playing in Lightroom, just farting around, picking different settings, playing with them, and see if you like what you get. Okay, we'll go back to full screen view here. And from here, you can print it. You can send it off to be printed, or just keep it in your digital library. Okay, that wraps up today's tutorial. Please be sure to like this video and leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel to be notified of future tutorials and videos. Thanks a lot.